Today in Top Movie and TV, we bring you time travel. In this video, we're going to review some of the most interesting time travel movies. Let's start. 12 Monkeys. The year 2035, after a killer virus sweeps the earth killing billions of people, some survivors take refuge in underground communities, wet and cold. James Cole is a convicted criminal living in a grim post-apocalyptic future. In the years 96-97, the surface of the earth was contaminated by this virus. As the years pass in the cold, dank darkness, scientists are going to find a way to travel back in time, albeit a somewhat imprecise one. And to gain forgiveness, Cole allows scientists to send him back in time to gather information about this virus. A virus they believe has been released by a terrorist organization known as the Army of the 12 Monkeys. In the first mission, Cole will arrive in Baltimore in the year 90, not 96 as planned. By mistake, he is arrested and sent to a mental institution where he meets the beautiful psychiatrist Catherine Rayleigh, Dr. Goins and Jeffrey Goins. Cole must find the Army of the 12 Monkeys before it's too late. Donnie Darko. Donnie is the perfect American teenager, endowed with great intelligence and also a great imagination. For Donnie, daily life is like an enigma that perplexes everyone, mostly adults and especially the teachers at his school. And thus, Donnie will discover that under the protective cloak of the neighborhood in which he lives, he hides a macabre underworld full of terrible secrets. After narrowly escaping certain death by dodging an airplane engine hurtling down on him from the sky, Frank tells Donnie that the sky is truly falling on Earth and that he has been marked down with a divine mission. Giving him a handful of prophetic clues, Frank promises Donnie that they will keep in touch in the future. Free Jack. A race driver disappears an instant before dying in an accident to appear a decade later in the dark, dangerous and unrecognizable 2009. This protagonist discovers that people from the past are abducted at the moment of their death, so that their bodies serve as unwitting recipients of the mind of millionaires. Just a second before the character dies in this accident, the pilot is abducted by a group of scientists who plan to sell his body to a sick millionaire who would save his life by transplanting his brain into Alex's body. The pilot manages to escape but has no rights in this new violent and technology-dominated world. Desperate, he seeks the help of Julie, his old girlfriend, who is 15 years older and an executive of the company that has abducted him. Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day wonders what would happen if a time loop would make you unable to avoid dying. College student Tree wakes up in her roommate's room on her birthday and lives a normal day until she is stabbed by a masked figure. Then she strangely returns to her roommate's room and it's her birthday, again and so on. In order to escape, he has to find out who his murderer is, as well as put his life in order in the meantime. A smart horror movie with an interesting time travel twist. Looper. This film is directed by Rian Johnson and tells the story of Joe, the looper who helps crime syndicates get rid of people they don't like, killing them once they have traveled back in time to the present. The idea is for the loopers to retire after killing their future selves, but the future version of Joe, with a face showing the effects, reveals himself in an attempt to save his wife from being killed by himself. This is a smart sci-fi thriller. If you like the top movies, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to see more videos like this. Back to the Future. It is a tape that takes place in the year 85, a time in which the young Marty McFly leads an anonymous existence with his girlfriend Jennifer. The only problems are his family in crisis and a director who would love to expel him from his school, so he must do everything in his power to reverse this situation and appear completely normal. A friend of the eccentric Professor Emmett Brown, one night he accompanies him to try his new experiment, traveling through time using a modified DeLorean, one of the most significant cars in movie history. Without a doubt, this is a really risky investigation, but one that can bring them enormous success in the future. Even so, the test turns out worse than expected. Some arms dealers arrive and murder the scientist. Marty takes refuge in the car that seems to transport him to 1955. There he prevents his parents from meeting and will be forced to do what is necessary so that they come back together. Otherwise, he would never be able to return to the present moment because he would never have existed. Predestination. A temporary government agent, Hawk, will have to perform a complex series of time travel in order to stop future assassins. On his latest mission, the agent must recruit his young self as he pursues a criminal he has been looking for a long time through time. Midnight in Paris. Even Woody Allen has approached time travel. Gil Pender is a disenchanted screenwriter who visits Paris with his superficial partner. The character is going to discover a street in the city that takes him to the 1920s. For him, this time represents a wonderful Western culture, and there he can meet all the intelligence of the moment. For some reason, the most prominent artists, creators, and intellectuals of an era come together, getting to know each other or perhaps simply getting drunk together. It takes us to this Paris of the 20s, where there is no shortage of Albert Dali or Picasso. An elegant parade of celebrities that we will meet little by little in this film. Tenet. In the world of international espionage, a man would rather die than hand over his companions. After managing to pass this difficult test, this man will have an important mission to avoid a new threat much more dangerous than the Third World War. The key will be a single word, Tenet. It will be then when he has to face a terrible villain, a man who seems to be able to travel in time and send information to the future. Helped by his wife, the protagonist hatches a plan to save life on Earth. The director has explicitly said that it is not a time travel movie, but the concept of time, which is its good part and its bad part at the same time, is what gives it a place on this list. The Visitors. A nobleman from the Middle Ages and his faithful squire are accidentally transported to modern times. Overwhelmed by the modernity, they must find their descendants to help them return to the past. Meanwhile, they will have to face the technological changes that the world has suffered based on the contrast of two very different eras, the medieval and the present. The result is this surprising film. Interstellar. Inspired by the theory of relativity, expert Kip Stephen Thorne about the existence of wormholes and their function as a channel to carry out time travel. The story revolves around a group of intrepid explorers who enter one of its holes and travel through it. They find themselves in another dimension. An unknown world opens before them, and they must fight to stay together if they want to return in one piece. A wonderful work by Christopher Nolan. For you, what is the best time travel movie? We read you in our comments. Here we leave you more videos like this.